Hello and welcome to the Trash Talk Podcast. I am your host JJ, and today I have Sergey.
Hi there.
I swear to God I'm not talking clearly during these introductions. Not that I'm talking particularly clearly outside of them, but anyways. Today we're doing
It's fine.
Something very interesting and very novel that we've never ever done before. We're gonna continue our podcast from last week, which is something we've also done before. So it's not novel that we're doing the topics because they're from last week, and it's not novel that we're continuing a topic from last week because that's also... Point is, this is so unnovel that in and of itself creates a novelty. I'm sure that's how it works.
Does it?
If I say so, it is. So we're trying to figure out how well we know each other.
Right.
And failing miserably at it, so let's continue. And I believe the question is about superpowers. What superpower would I want to have, Sergey?
Yes. God,
You can call me JJ, it's fine. I know, it's a bad joke.
I hate you. Yeah, I don't know. There's so many things to choose from.
That is true.
Like, one of the coolest things I think you'd also like would be just knowing everything, basically. Kind of. Sorta.
I can see the argument for that, but that is not what I went with for a variety of reasons. The thing is, I kind of want to know everything, but I also feel like once you know everything, not that it's feasible to know literally everything, but then what is there to live for, right? Like, it's
I don't know.
It's a thing where acquiring knowledge is kind of a thing that I enjoy, yes, but like, what are you gonna do once you have everything, right? But so what I went with is actually, I mean, I guess you could argue it's related, but I don't think it is. So I said it's either teleportation, which is just a really cool power, or more related, immortality. Now, I do constantly say how much there's downsides to immortality, so it has to be a particular version of immortality, but I would love to be effectively able to live as long as I want, right? So,
yeah.
There's so immortality.
That seems desirable.
You know, within a certain realm, which is like, you know, without aging, and, well, I mean, maybe not. Like, you know, we can stop aging in like 10 to 15 years, but like, you get the point, right? Like, without aging or very slow aging, and, you know, like, immunity to disease and poisons and blah, 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 and being able to choose when you want to die, because I'm sure after a couple thousand years, maybe even I don't want to do this anymore. But...
yeah.
That's what I went with, and I think it's unrelated enough that I'm not giving you any points. Suck it.
Yeah, no, that's unrelated.
So, I had a guess, and I just... now, of course, based on what you said, like, oh, I think you would also like it, blah, blah, but I think I'm just going to go with what I wrote down, because that's what I initially guessed, and that is...
Yes, I picked that completely unrelated to... Ooh, that's interesting. But that's a bit too lame.
Yeah, fair enough.
I kind of also went in a similar direction with immortality, but I generalized it a bit and said being able to control the passage of time for individual objects or whatever.
Yeah, I guess.
So you can either like
slow yourself down, metabolistically, I guess,
or like
still...
make yourself faster, or like goes in both directions.
Yeah, time manip is definitely a very versatile power, for sure.
Yeah.
Fair enough. What profession would I most like to have?
Probably something to do with computer science, perhaps even involving programming quite a lot. So, programmer, I guess.
I probably would do that, and it's probably, like, realistically the direction I'm heading down. But, would most like to have, it says, and, you know, I mean, first of all, bold of you to assume that I want to work for a living, but I
True.
feel like I kind of had to go with YouTuber.
YouTuber, yeah.
I mean, I'm doing it, and I'm not getting paid nearly enough to justify doing this. So, yeah, I would love to do this and, be able to live off of it. So I feel like it's the obvious choice for me to most like. And then for you, I guessed, programmer.
Ooh.
I mean, it was either going to be that or woodworking, and I feel like programmer was.
Woodworking is like a close second.
So programmer was correct
to get away from technology. Yeah, sure, totally fits.
Because I was like, which of those am I going to use? And it's like, yeah, I think it's the programming one though, because as far as I'm aware, you're still going for that.
Yeah. Though, like, currently, it is leaning towards woodworking more and more.
I mean, fair enough.
It's bad. Been trying to learn Unity, but like from a modding perspective, so I can't just use the Unity editor GUI thingy to do all the stuff. Yeah. Have to 100% use code for everything. Half the time, the stuff that's written in the docs doesn't even work.
Oh god, documentation. Tell me about it. The thing is, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm always unhappy with, oftentimes unhappy with documentation of things that I have to work with, but also, you don't want to read my documentation. That is in the rare cases that it exists. So, like, I kind of, I see both sides, right? Like, I don't write good granted, I never publish any code for others to work with. The only documentation I had to do was, like, for college projects and whatnot. And if I'm working on a project just for myself, documentation isn't as necessary. Not to say that there is no reason to do it. There's always like, what was I thinking kind of code, but, But I feel like that brings up the naturally next question. If I could be an animal, which one would that be? If the whole YouTuber thing doesn't work out, which animal will I turn into?
I forgot which animals you like more. So I'm just gonna go with the internet's favorite animal, the cat.
I had considered that, for sure. I mean, cats are kind of cool in what they, like, capabilities. I ended up going, and to be fair, this is not really a specific animal that specifically, but I went with bird. Because, I mean, not that cat is technically it, but anyways. Because, I would love to be able to fly. Like, wouldn't that be really cool?
That would be cool, flight. Yeah. I do agree.
So, for you, I went with what I believe is your favorite animal, and I just went with fox.
That's interesting.
See,
how? Okay, yeah. Explain.
And I know you like foxes. I don't know if there's like a specific advantage of turning into one, which is like the obvious question, right? Like, because I feel like you would want to go for utility, so that's why I personally went with the bird. But I went with a similar line of reasoning as you did, and it's like, what animal do I know you like? The fox. And so, fox.
Yeah, that actually kind of surprised me, because I did not really consider foxes at all for this. Just wrote down probably a cat for myself. I also don't really remember any instance where I like specifically talked to you about liking foxes.
That's actually in the Which Trash Can You Remember Are You Most Like quiz. I don't know if it was favorite animal.
Really?
But it was something where Alex, I think, picked bear, I picked wolf, and you picked fox. I don't know what the exact context was of the question.
Okay, yeah. No, in that context, I can totally see myself picking fox. Yeah.
Let's see.
No, that doesn't make sense.
What does it say? Fox? There it says fox. Yeah. It's pick an animal. That's what the question was. And then we had a couple of examples. After basically just ours, the ones we picked, and then just some others. It's fox, wolf, bird. Fox, wolf, bear, bird, cat, horse, lion, and fish. Which, like, you know, I mean, lions are cats.
No, I can see that.
Let's go for a house cat. What is it? Felis catus. The genus of the house cat. This doesn't matter.
Oh. I don't know.
So you're turning into a cat.
I mean, I guess foxes are just cats, but different.
No, they're dogs, but different. they're clearly canines.
Yeah.
And anyone who believes differently is wrong. Right? Like, that's the thing where some people are like, oh yeah, like, foxes are like half cats, half dogs. Like, no. They're like dogs. They might have some superficial traits in common with cats, but, like, they are, like, genetically related to dogs and wolves. And, you know, all of the other stuff, like hyenas and whatnot. But
they do coyotes. Be kind of... I mean, they do be kind of looking like cats more than dogs.
I can see how there is some visual similarities, but I do think they still look more like dogs, just on a general head shape, right? Like with the snout and everything. Like cats have flatter faces.
Head shape, sure. Yeah, I guess.
I mean, I can see how like some traits, like the ears and stuff, would be more akin to a cat than a regular dog, but then you also, well, then again, dogs also have those similar ones, at least some breeds, and, you know, lynxes and blah blah blah. Lynxes, those are cats. Anyways.
True, yeah.
Do you want to go to the next question?
I guess it half works.
What half works?
0.5, half point.
Okay, I'll get a half point. I'll take a half point. And then that brings up the next question, which is...
What is your favorite form of physical activity?
So I'm going to say your favorite form of physical activity is Beat Saber.
Yes. Most definitely. Also, like, just purely judging by the amount of time I've done that for. It is crazy.
Yep.
For you, I guessed it is hiking.
Yeah.
In brackets, if it involves alcohol.
Okay. Fair point. But it's not an absolute necessity. Like, I'm not a huge fan of it, but I did also write, I wrote on walking, but I mean, that's what a hike is. It's just a long walk, really. Because I don't really do a lot of physical activity. I don't do sports. But I do go for a walk every now and again, like, you know, through the woods or something. Not usually on my own or self-motivated, but you know, I'm willing to go along for that sort of stuff. And then also, of course, there is the infamous sausage hike, which is not all about the sausage as you might expect, but as Sergey already kind of suggested, it's all about the alcohol. But yeah, that's also like a small hike. So yeah, that's something like the correct answer straight up. Oh, what is, now closely related to the previous question, my favorite animal? Which is I mean, have a guess, I guess.
I could again go the cat route. Could just go the bird route and pick a cool bird. I'll try the bird route. How about parrots?
So I wrote down, because I wasn't sure, I wrote down cat question mark. Because, like, I would probably go for either something feline or maybe canine of some sort. So, no, not birds. No, I don't necessarily think that birds are that cool, and if I picked a cool bird, then it would be a raptor of some sort, like an eagle or a falcon, not a parrot. But... Or even an owl. I think they're raptors, too. But, like, a parrot? No,
I think so, yeah. I mean, man, parrots are cool.
Not really. I mean, their mimicry is like, I get it, but like, I don't know. For you, I went with, get this, fox.
I guess it works. I wrote down cats and dogs because, like, I don't really have a big preference between those two. As you mentioned earlier, foxes are sometimes described as half cat, half dog, so works out perfectly, I guess.
Yeah, sure. I'll write down the point. Why not? What is a talent or ability that I have?
I don't think IQ is considered talent or ability, so...
I don't think so. I think that's more
probably
of
programming?
An attribute, if you will.
Like math?
I mean, sure. I mean, I think I'll give you the point just because... I mean, if you say something that is correct, I think you should get a point, not just if it's whatever answer I would have given. And it's definitely...
Yeah.
It's definitely... Well, it's a correct answer, so I'll... So what I wrote down, actually, as my answer is tangents. I'm very good at going on tangents. Is it a useful talent or ability? No. Is it desirable? Yeah, probably not in most situations. But is it a talent?
I mean...
Maybe.
Maybe. Yes. I mean, it really works well with YouTube or streaming.
I sure
like
hope so.
Twitch.
Oh yeah, maybe one day we should just do this live. Maybe people will actually watch it then.
Oh yeah, totally.
I mean, we had talked about this before, and with this setup, it's not even that hard to do it. Like, there isn't... Like, the only editing in this is, like, the lower thirds and the end card. Like, that's all the editing we do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, some audio filtering, but that's not too bad. We should do this live one day. You know, if you're watching this, anyone, if anyone is watching this, which is lately not a given, and you want to see this live, leave us a comment.
Comment down below.
Oh, we'd have to do it on the main channel, but that's not a big deal. Because you have to first qualify for live streaming. Not everyone on YouTube is allowed to live stream, and this channel does not qualify. I think it's the same qualifications as monetization. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure we don't qualify, which is kind of sad, actually. And might actually be one of the reasons why we haven't done it yet, but that's... Right, your talent. I said, and get this, rhythm gaming.
Ooh,
you're good at rhythm games.
That's kind of debatable, though. Like the only rhythm game I'm good at is Beat Saber. I mean, and it's kind of arguable that it isn't even a rhythm game. Because you're not judged by how precise you're hitting or like doing stuff to the beat.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess because I wrote down like being decent at Beat Saber.
I mean, that is mostly what I was thinking of. I was trying to generalize it a bit more in the wording. But I think I've seen you play other rhythm games. You're probably not world class at them, but I would say that you are, at least compared to a lot of other people I know, including myself, rather good at those.
I would not say that. You know what? Can we at some point just play a couple rhythm games together and just compare each other?
I mean, sure.
Because I have like only, I don't know, 10-ish hours in some of them. Which is not a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I don't play that kind of stuff because I'm really bad at it, and I also don't really care.
Yeah.
I know it's something that I could get good at if I wanted to, probably, because it's probably more of a training thing than an inborn talent type of deal, but like I also don't care that much.
Oh yeah, totally.
How many questions?
Though for a lot of them, we'd probably, or like not a lot of them, but like one specifically, we'd have to probably rework your mouse setup.
Oh god. I mean, yeah, it's fine. So I think this is the what does it say 246th question that we had in this topic, and I'm thinking we're gonna do one more, and then we're gonna go into the halftime show because I don't want to go for like incredibly long today. We're still gonna do like the hour or whatever, but I don't want to like have this be another 2-hour one. I mean, last one was 1.5, I think, which is fine. Yeah. But,
sounds good.
Where was I? Animal, Telltale ability. Oh yeah. What am I afraid of?
The tax office.
Okay, I mean, you don't mess with the IRS, okay? But no, I mean, I don't have anything to fear from them. So while I am definitely very careful about not reporting things that I do, as in I'm very careful at making sure that I report my income.
Yeah.
Like the whole YouTube thing where it's like, do we have to report it? Maybe. But like, yeah. We definitely have all of our paperwork figured out. So I guess I definitely respect that. I wouldn't say fear. So my answer for myself was heights, because, I'm afraid of heights. Like, that's a thing. I obviously consciously know that that's usually stupid, but, that's not how fears work. Yeah.
Yeah, totally not.
I don't do well with heights. And for you...
I didn't know that.
Didn't know that, huh? Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure I have brought that up before. That's probably, like...
Probably.
The number one thing I would point at. I also have, like, mild arachnophobia, as in spiders. But I find that to be less extreme. So I went with heights as, like, the strong and obvious one. But either way, I probably would have given you the punch for spiders. But, no. No. And for you... I went with something. It's kind of a bit stereotypical, but I mean, when in doubt, go with something obvious. Go with something too obvious, right? And I went with failure. That sounds like a no. I mean, it's fine. You don't have to be afraid of failure.
Kinda, but like, only if it's like big failure. Then yeah, but like. Not just failure in general.
I mean, that's fair. I mean,
my programs fail all the time.
What? What did you say? I didn't.
My programs fail all the time.
Yes. I mean, no. I'm personally also fine with failure, but.
I mean, I wrote down society because I have a lot of issues with that. Yes. Like, unironically.
I mean, I get it. I try not to worry about it. Like, the thing is...
Yeah.
I feel like I have reason to be afraid of the future, but also, that is not something that keeps me up at night. Because I'm very good at not thinking about it.
Oh yeah, it's not that type of society that I'm thinking of. Like, just... randomly talking to people, that sort of stuff.
Oh, social anxiety.
The social anxiety stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I think I'm also like more or less fine with that. Actually, I don't love it, but I'm usually fine with it. I guess I think I have a hesitance to go out of my way to do stuff like that, and like stuff like calling on the phone, especially. But, like, I find it very manageable and not very bad for me personally. But, I mean, of course, people's experience is very...
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that's Fine. And that finishes off this topic. Which brings us to our facts of the week, which are hopefully factual. Or so is the idea.
Yeah.
What is your fact of the week?
So, my fact of the week is about Werner Heisenberg, the physicist.
Yes. Famous for the Heisenberg uncertainty principle.
Yes, which is a topic or like a thing in quantum physics.
I am well aware.
Which was back then, in his time, not really appreciated in Germany for some reason.
Okay.
Political reasons mostly, but Germans or Nazis back then did not like quantum physics. I don't know why or like how that originates, but they did not like it.
There was a lot of things that they didn't like, but quantum physics would not have been my first guess.
Yeah.
Also, having another thought, do we know what Mr. Heisenberg's ancestry / religious affiliation was? I just thought about it, right? It's not the most obvious one, but, a lot of the ones that end in, like, Berg or Stein or something, like, sometimes also Jewish names. I'm not saying he was definitely a Jew, I'm just saying I could see him having been of Jewish descent, which would have been a much more likely reason to not be liked by the Nazis. They didn't like Jews very much. It's kind of what they're known for.
Yeah. I don't think he was.
Fair enough. It is just a German-sounding name.
Yeah.
The thing is, historically, and I think I talked about this before, I think that was way back before Germany was even a country, but like in the German kingdoms and whatnot, back in the day, there was one guy who allowed Jews to be citizens, which was not really common at the time, because usually you would have to be a member of the church of the local monarch. And so he allowed Jews to be citizens, but he had them take German names. And so they were required to take a German name to become a citizen of his, I don't know if it was a kingdom or a duchy, whatever, doesn't matter. And so that is where most of those stereotypically Jewish names come from, because they're usually just like German words or like German compound words oftentimes that I don't think anyone really had as a name besides those Jews who took those names. So while they were taking German names, they weren't really taking names that were common with German-speaking folk, but rather they were taking German-sounding names. And that is where we get a lot of those typically Jewish names, which is why oftentimes when you hear a name such as like Tannenbaum or something, you can basically know that the person almost guaranteed to have a Jewish ancestry. Now, Heisenberg is not as obviously Jewish to me, but again, as I said, like a lot of them ending in like Stein and Beak and stuff like that, so I was like, it might be a Jewish name.
Yeah, I don't know. Wikipedia says Heisenberg was attacked in the press as a white Jew, i.e. an Aryan who acts like a Jew. So I suppose he was not a Jew.
I believe the word you're looking for is Aryan, but yes.
I don't know.
I'm just saying. Okay, so
anyway, back to the fact.
Yes.
So he was investigated by the SS for his physics that he does, and at one point apparently got so bad that his mother talked to the mother of his investigator, which then convinced his investigator to drop the investigation.
Yeah. That sounds right. Yeah, that sounds like a thing that would totally happen.
Yeah. That was a funny fact.
Yeah, that is
from history.
I'm still kind of curious about what the Nazis had against quantum physics, but who knows?
I don't know. It was too new or something.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I guess they are conservative in a lot of ways, as fascists often are. So my fact of the week pertains to, well, actually, it's a more general fact, but I like this example. So, are you familiar with the video game Team Fortress 2?
Yes. It is quite famous for its hats.
Yes, Hat Simulator, exactly. I believe, I'm pretty sure my fact is right. The thing is, you know that moment when you're like about to explain your fact and you're doubting yourself?
Yeah, I know that. I feel that.
I'm pretty sure the medic in TF2 has a red cross on his uniform, doesn't he?
Maybe?
Yes, he does.
Okay.
Which actually is what my fact is kind of about, because Team Fortress 2 actually breaks the Geneva Convention. You know, the one about war crimes.
Oh.
But kind of. Because as per the Geneva Convention, and that is the most common one that is broken, and it's usually not a big deal, unless it's maybe in a war zone, but you are not allowed to use the Red Cross for any other purpose than to identify yourself as, like, you know, a medic or something akin to that, because of war reasons. And I believe if you are wearing a Red Cross, you're also not allowed to be like an army medic who's specifically tending to your own troops. If you wear a Red Cross, you have to basically care for any injured, and that is like the main purpose, because you're not allowed to shoot someone who's wearing a Red Cross. And so that is like neutral medical personnel is basically what the idea is. I think it is only technically to be used by the Red Cross organization, but it identifies someone who is neutral and who cares for the wounded. So any other use is technically breaking the Geneva Convention, even if it is in like forms of art where someone outside of a real life war zone is depicted as wearing one. Now, it's a bit of a silly example, but technically, the medic, especially, you know, since he's not even being portrayed as a neutral party, he's part of one of the two teams. So,
yeah.
He's either breaking it in universe if it exists in universe, or you could maybe argue, I believe based on how it's written, that you aren't even allowed to use it at all within, even though it is just a fictional depiction. So, technically, the makers of TF2, I guess, are breaking it. Like, if you would like take it very literally, obviously no one would ever try them under it. Like, if you were in an actual war zone in a battlefield and you were just wearing it for shits and giggles, you might get into trouble. But like, realistically not otherwise. Because the point is, if people start using it tactically, then it would lose its value, and you'd start shooting people with the Red Cross that you don't know because they might be dangerous. And the whole point is supposed to be that you're not dangerous; you're just helping.
Yeah.
So, how much an actual Team Fortress 2 example applies, it's really just a reason for me to talk about the Geneva Convention. Okay, and we have, I just opened this, a crossword. Can you beat around the bush genre to complete the crossword? Rearrange. I'm not 100% sure what this is about with those highlighted words, but it's a crossword otherwise. And we're just gonna try this. It sounds almost like you have to rearrange some letters. Maybe of the word bush, maybe. No, that doesn't fit. Different things. Maybe you just have to not put the letters. I don't know. Look for. I should probably not went into the whole speculation there. To look for.
Look for.
Speed. Throbbing. Nice words. And the last one in this corner on the horizontal row, stayed in an expensive inn. So it's a past
in
tense.
An inexpensive
inn. Okay. Place to relax. Is that maybe a spa?
Spa.
That is correct. Oh, they're blue, not green.
Why is it blue?
Per person. Well, per capita comes to mind, but capita, even as one word, is too long, isn't it? Reverberate.
Yeah.
The sound would also be too long. Door openers. Handle comes over, but again, it's too long.
What is this?
Knob? It's not a knob. Despite the fact that doorknob would have totally been.
Yeah.
Look for starts with an S, but it's not search, because that's also too long. Oh, maybe seek, actually, come to think of it.
Ooh.
Yes.
That's good.
Speed starts with a P. And throbbing starts with an A. Also, per person now starts with each maybe. Yes. Reverberate is echo. I should have probably gotten that. And door openers.
Didn't we try knob?
I mean, we did, but also I just realized it's openers, so it will be a plural. Oh, keys. The moment I said plural, I knew it for some reason. Okay, so pace and A key and stayed in an inexpensive inn is...
Hostel? No.
Hosteled? That's not a word. I refuse to accept that that is a word.
That's dumb.
Okay, Rosa. Park?
Park.
Parks, isn't it?
Yeah,
So
I
it's
think.
not that Rosa. Is it pink? As in just the color? But that's not... In English, you don't say Rosa, do you? I'm still not exactly sure what this is about, by the way. Skaters jump. What do skaters do? Flip?
They have weird names for their moves, but they do.
Increase. Add is too short. Heighten is too long. Inactive. Paddled. Armpit. Plants anew. Seeds? That works. Toboggan. 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 I don't know. Rosa. Try park. Sketcher's jump has an E in it. Increase has an S in it. Inactive ends in an E. Feel sick. Durka? Oh, wait, is it... They said something about rearranging. Do we just have to rearrange the letters? Because it's 5 letters and Rosa is 4, isn't it? And it has an R in it.
Yeah.
Frighten. Spook, maybe? Wait, that doesn't... No, it does fit. It's just not right. Greek giant is maybe a titan? Yes. Agrees, in parentheses, with. Let's do the down ones. Buzzing with activity. Unintentional. That's a long one.
Accidental.
Accidental. Good. Furious. It's not angry. Despite the fact it would fit if it wasn't for that T. Turkish coins. So I reckon they don't use the euro quite yet. Oh, they're not even in the EU. Wait, though they have been joining for like as long as anyone else has. I mean, they've been in the process of talking about maybe joining the EU for like a while. Field 6 starts with an A. Ale? Yes. Durka happens to have a C in it. I swear to God.
I think it is about rearranging.
Frighten is scare. How did I not come up with that? Agrees. I don't know. Oh yeah, we haven't looked at this one either. Hidera. Okay, so just rearranging it because there's a D and an E in it, and the length also fits, I believe. Which we could technically try.
Yeah, it does fit.
If it is Sora or let's Sora or Sorrow, maybe. I guess it could be Azro or Ozra or something completely different. Wait, didn't I try everything except for putting the S at the end? Some ors. That's a thing. Yeah, that's a thing that exists. Which does give us letters. Paddle starts with an O. Armpit starts with an A. Which it does seem like a very obvious statement, but you know what I mean. And the toboggan starts with an S, which is probably not very helpful. Buzzing with activity has ST in it. Furious is irate. Very popular crossword word.
I always forget that one.
The coins, are they liras? They are. And Lion's Hope, is which we didn't even look at, I believe. It's an N, obviously. Which means that this is an orchid. No, wait. No, it's not it. It's acrid, obviously. But orchid isn't even spelled that way. Agrees with is something does, which I feel like we should know. But I'm also unable to come up with that. Buzzing with activity is something like a buzz, but not buzz, obviously. I think that's how I'm interpreting that A. Yeah. And of course, there's a word here that has a D and an E in it. We'll look at those later because we probably don't have enough time to actually try to every combination of something. Japanese noodle.
Soba? No, wait. Soba even... Yeah.
Say. What about speak? It's too short, isn't it? Speaks? No, that doesn't make sense because it would be says. Talk? It's even shorter. Why am I even trying that?
I think express is written with 2 S, right?
Yes. I mean, there is a second S, but just not at the right spot. Lindera. I mean, if you're good with anagrams, you can figure out if there is one that you can come up with, but I doubt it. Restaurant handout is menu.
Yeah.
Away. 3 letters.
Bar?
Doubt it. No, it's not. Edge is a rim, I guess. Arid. Doesn't arid mean something like dry? As in landscape? Or am I just mistaken?
I think maybe?
Sign starts with an O and ends with an N.
Omen?
That's a good one. I should have known that. Balcony railing starts with a B. Is it balustrade? I thought it was balustrade, but then again, it's all... It is... I was thought it was spelled with an I. God damn it, schwa. Frown starts with a T. Has an A in there. Say... I thought for a second that it might have said stay and I just misread it and it's remain, but it's not. Because it doesn't say stay, it says say. Right?
Yep.
I'm not just being insane here, am I?
What is that?
That would have been... I mean... I expect... Okay, so... Oh, remark! Big brain. Yeah, I mean, Lindera, we now have a couple extra letters, but I still wouldn't necessarily know what that is. I mean, there would be an R or a D, right? Oh, wait, actually, what is this? Arid. It's gotta have a D or an R, probably, right? It's an R. Seer. So then this is Irel... it could be... Larn? I don't know. Did I look at this down one? I did not. Small hill. Isn't the hill already?
I think
just
it's
a small one?
Ireland.
Oh, is it Ireland? That does make sense. It is. So, what is the small hill with K and N? Driving offense. And this time one is Game of Thrones EG, which I guess is a television series. The first book in a series of novels. Saliva.
Wait, what's
Salvia.
the book called again?
Salvia is alive. Dude. Which book? Game of Thrones is the first book of the
Game
Song
of
of Ice and
Thrones.
Fire series.
Okay, yeah, no, that does not fit.
Place
all.
of stay could be a hotel. Could also not be a hotel, I guess. Place to stay. Rotten
Yeah.
combination form? I guess comb form. There's a dot after com. Poseidon's realm. Is it the sea? Oh, ocean. Right. I was like, isn't it the sea? Like, yeah, it is. Dryas is I don't know. I got saliva because it basically said it. They just flipped 2 letters. They said salvia. Scottish sorrow. And downward we have South American parrot. Is a toucan? It is not a toucan.
Okay.
Sushi sauce.
Soy?
Soy.
Oh yeah, that does make sense.
Musical drama. Aegis, UK spelling. Is it Aeons? Yes, it is. Place to stay could still be hotel, but isn't. Combination form. It's rotten something. I don't know. And that now is trying to fit an R of yards. Oars, acrid, Ireland, yards. I don't think there's a pattern. Scottish sorrow, South American parrot is. It could still be the toucan. What the fuck? How is it not the toucan? Musical drama.
Is maybe spelled differently?
I mean, how else would you spell it with that amount of letters?
I didn't know.
It's toucan? It's not toucan. Fucking hell, I don't know. What is this? Place to stay. We looked at it already. To cherish. Makes plans.
Love?
No. Also not like.
Like, yeah, no.
Makes plans. Light touches. Pats? It is pats. Wow, I didn't expect that. Give off. Emit. Acer is race.
Yeah.
Copycat. Aper? Because it apes? Yeah, I guess. Game of Thrones EG is something ama. And heart valve is aortic. I think. Okay, it is. Flavor is taste. And that means that cherish has OT in the middle. And makes plans starts with an A. What's the second one? Shade of blue. That could be navy. No, it's too short. It could be indigo. That's too long. Cyan is also too short. Fucking hell, what's up with me today? Match.
Yeah.
Appraises.
Game?
Ooze.
Maybe.
Yeah, no, ooze a slime. No, it's not, because it's too long. What the fuck, JJ? Letters. Arranges. Wait, that doesn't. Oh, is it double R for arranges? It is.
Yeah.
Affirmative vote. Wait. Votes. Eyes. Timid. Mild. No, it's not. I don't know. I would have said shy, but catch sight of eye? Appraisers. Eyes? Sure. Ooze is SE something. Clouds locale is the sky. Timid is meat, I guess. And catch sight of is ooze. A spy. To ooze is to see. It's not an ooze. That was my mistake, I guess, but to be fair, I didn't say it out loud. Anyways. Polite address is sir. This one, cotinus is cosine, I don't know. Back of the neck is the neck, isn't it? That doesn't make sense because that's already in the question.
Kind of, yeah.
Nape, I guess.
Bricks.
Complained. Purple fruit. So gay purple fruit, plum. Probably plum, isn't it? Shade of blue ends with an N and has a P there. So it's something weird. Antidote. How about that? Guys is his. Antidote. Hokkaido native. Shige, what do you call someone from Hokkaido? Verse?
I don't know.
Is no, it can't be. Conclude is end. That means that this one ends in an end that doesn't help. Complained, I don't know. I do time. Fucking hell. I'm so bad with time management with these. Sergey, do you see what we just did?
We beat the average.
We beat the average! I mean, hey, listen, right? Back in the day...
Well, you beat the average, mostly.
I mean, you did
it's
help
a motel.
Me with the noodles. What a poem is the verse. I knew is the Hokkaido native. Moaned is complained.
Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed that.
Agrees is sides. Okay, I can see why it says with. What else do we have? Away is out. Small hills and null, which I didn't
guess.
know. Driving offense we didn't even look at. It's my bad because I'm taking control of the quiz, of course, which is DUI.
No, we did.
Did we? Oh yeah, right. I just read that completely differently.
We only had a D.
Yeah, in my mind, this was to drive offense, as in, to be in control of the offense, to lead the offense. That's how I read that, which is why mentally, that's why I didn't even think of course, DUI, driving under the influence. Game of Thrones is a TV drama. I think I said something about drama, so I guess I could have added the D already. To cherish is to dote, which is not what I would have associated doting with, but okay. Shade of blue is...
do not know that word.
Copen. I mean, don't people sometimes say to dote around when you're, like, just not, like, I guess, dilly-dally, Is it not?
Yes,
I might just have that wrong. Copen is apparently the shade of blue, which I have never heard of. The antidote is a serum that does check out. Buzzing with activities, astir. Inactive is idle, which fair enough.
We could have totally guessed that, yeah.
Paddled is oared, which actually relates to the oars that are already answered. Which, I would not necessarily... armpit is the axiala, which I guess that's where axial tilt comes from or something. And toboggan, I guess, is a sled then. Skater's jump is an axle, and increase is rise. Also, Scottish sorrow is way, and motel was the place to stay. I tried hotel multiple times, and never once tried... two words came to mind, right? Hotel and hostel. Not motel.
Yes, same.
Which is like short for... It's a portmanteau of motor and hotel. It's a motor hotel. It's for truckers to stay in. And rotten is sapro, which I have never heard of. So when I did these with Alex, we were always going for trying to get as many in a row correct as we could, as in many quizzes in a row. I think I'm happy with beating the average right now.
Yeah.
Which brings us to the second topic, and we'll keep this brief, and then we'll look at the total scores. I forgot to announce the scores when we went into this, but I was in the lead, and I'm now even more so in the lead.
Most likely, yes.
I have, in the first topic, gotten a total of 4.5 points, and you have gotten 2. Which means this is your time to redeem yourself by telling me what is the craziest thing that I have ever done.
God, I don't know. You did a lot of crazy things back in the day with Alex and the group. At least from the stories I've heard.
My first instinct was to say, I don't even know what crazy things I have done. So I guess...
Though, to be fair, like, in a lot of the stories, you were there, but you were not directly involved in the action.
Okay, that is a point, right? I have been... yeah. I have been party to a lot of wild occurrences.
Yes. So I don't know. Like for me, the craziest thing you've ever done that I've seen and maybe heard was to just like drink a lot of alcohol. I mean, I don't know.
I feel like that gives the wrong impression. Not a lot of alcohol. I have gotten
for me,
kind of drunk.
It does
once or twice. I mean, to be fair, this is a hard one to answer because I don't know, man. I was like starting a YouTube channel ? I was like, it's not really that crazy of a thing to do. A lot of people do it, but like,
yeah,
I feel like it's the most out there thing I've done, which is like my life is boring. Okay, and also, by the way, you said stories, right? And I noticed something interesting. You hear people tell stories about their past, and you're like, oh my god, they've had such a more exciting life than me. But first of all, those are the highlights. Second of, and then
yeah.
I said A in second. Do it all the time. And then B, if you were trying to think about it, you could probably tell some stories that are of similar levels of interesting. Like, I was thinking my life is comparatively boring, and it probably is, but A, I'm 23, and B, I mean, if you just look at the highlights, there's probably some fun stories from school I can tell or something.
Yes.
Okay, craziest thing you've ever done. Let's see, what have you done? I don't know, man. I'm pretty sure you're just as boring as me.
Yes, I give you a full point on that.
I mean, dude, I don't know. The thing is, objectively, there has to be an answer, right? Because this is the thing that bugs me. When I ask someone which one of those two things is better, and they say, oh, they're both bad. Like, which one of those is less bad? And they can instantly tell me. That means that you had a clear preference, meaning that one of them is better. Right? Just because neither of them is good, there can still be one that is better, and as a matter of fact, it will be, out of that set, the best. Right?
Yes.
Superlatives and comparatives can apply even if the base one does not apply, which is to say, there is objectively a craziest thing that either of us have done. But the fact is, because it wasn't that crazy, it's hard to come up with it. But you can't say there was no one craziest thing unless there have been multiple things that have been exactly equally crazy that would take the top. And even then, just pick one, right? Like, objectively, a superlative will always have to apply. You cannot have a set that does not contain a superlative. They can all be exactly equal, but then they would just sharedly take the position of the superlative.
Yeah. That is true.
Centering myself? Let's go. Next one, less controversial. Favorite season of the year. In most episodes, there's 4 of those.
Mhm. I have a 1 in 4 chance of getting that correct. If I remember correctly, you were not a big fan of high temperatures.
That is something that you remember, yes? I'm not even gonna go.
Yes.
I was gonna give a yes or no answer, but obviously that limits it even more.
Yeah. So my rule summer out. I do not remember if you liked winter or not. I might go with a slightly safer option of choosing either spring or fall.
I mean, I'm gonna have for you to pick one because it's already one.
Yes. So and I'm gonna go with the spring.
That was the wrong answer because you forgot something very important. I have hay fever. Which means that spring is hell. Well, I mean, it's not hell. It's not even my least favorite season, maybe. But,
no.
Allergies, man. It's fall, right?
Yeah.
It's not too hot, it's not too cold, and it's the least problematic in terms of allergies. Maybe besides winter, but winter is cold and has snow, which I don't like. It's, there's no contest, it's fall.
I forgot the allergies.
And, for answering for you, I went with... you probably also don't like the extremes that much, I would assume. Now, you are literally from Siberia, but you also always complain about the cold in winter. If someone has a window slightly open, because you're very sensitive to it, which is probably why you don't live in Russia anymore. I know it's different, it's a dry cold in Russia, you've told me before, it's less funny that way. And so I'm gonna go with, you probably also get hot in summer, and you get cold in winter, which I know for a fact. Same logic. And then we are split between fall and spring. Now, there's two factors here. First of all, I don't like giving you the same answer as I'm giving myself if I'm not sure that, or if I don't think you would give the same answer necessarily. So in case of a toss-up, I always go with the other one. And two, I think that people generally tend to find spring more appealing as a season, by a small margin, though a lot of people like Halloween and associate it heavily with the fall. But, and aesthetically, the fall is pleasing some people, but I think people generally like spring more. And again, I already picked fall for myself, so I went with spring.
That is not correct. I do actually like winter the most.
Okay.
Even if I am cold in winter. And fall is not a close second, because there is quite a big fall off, but it's pretty much in line with spring. Unintentional.
I know, but I just had to point it out. Fall off, it works.
Yeah, it does. But spring and fall are pretty much equal, though I do like fall a bit more, and I like summer the least.
Fair enough.
By far.
I probably like summer the least as well. Yeah, I mean, it would have been very funny if you had also said fall, and it's just we both guessed spring, but it ended up being fall. Which is an interesting one. What is my favorite dessert?
What even constitutes as dessert?
Fucking hell, that's that shit again.
Where are the lines?
A dessert is a small thing, usually sweet, that you would eat after a main meal.
I don't know. Cake.
I will say cake is maybe a bit unusual as a dessert, but I would probably allow that as a valid answer for it being a dessert. That being said, that is wrong. Again, picking clear favorites is hard, but I feel like I'm actually having a bit of a leaning here. I feel like it's actually my favorite. Tiramisu.
Oh.
Which I have a funny anecdote about, but I'm not going to go into that today. It's also not that funny. Well, it was very funny if you were there. It's mildly amusing in the retelling. Anyways, so
Yeah.
I don't know what your favorite dessert is, and I went with a stereotypically popular one because of course I did, and I went with mousse au chocolat.
What was that?
Dude, it's chocolate mousse. Like what mousse? It's like a chocolate
Mousse?
pudding type thing. I don't think we use the word mousse in English, do we? I mean, except to describe the animal, which is unrelated. But I mean, mousse au chocolat is an established term. I'm pretty sure we use mousse in German. I'm not sure if we use it in English. And of course, they use it in French, because that's literally what mousse au chocolat literally just means, chocolate mousse in that sense.
Yeah, no. I do not appreciate that kind of stuff.
Fair enough.
Yeah, my answer is like a weird one, and like kinda might not even apply as dessert, maybe, probably. It's chak chak, like kind of hard to describe. Let me just pull up Wikipedia real quick.
See, because I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, I would have guessed that. Chak may refer to Fars, a village in Iran. Yazd, a village in Iran. Shak, an Antillean musical instrument, or Chak, a sweet dessert of Tatar, made of honey and pastry.
That sounds like the one.
Yeah.
No, it would be hilarious if you like eating Iranian villagers for dessert. Probably also horrifying because, people live there. I mean, I guess you could calculate it first. Maybe just eat the buildings. I don't know. Still kind of weird, but a lot funnier. Still kind of destructive, but also kind of fun. Just imagine Sergei in like a cartoonish way, just like running through a village and like taking bites out of buildings.
That does seem amusing. Yeah.
I mean, I'm just imagining the cartoons like the stealthing around, where they're just like taking like these like large steps, but like very quietly, like ding 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 ding, ding. Like hiding around the corner and they're taking a bite out of it. Yeah. Anyways, I'm just making this fun for myself again for no reason.
Yeah. So, chak is made from unleavened dough cut in and rolled into hazelnut-sized balls, which are then deep fried in oil. Optionally, hazelnuts or dried fruits are added to the mixture. The dried balls are stacked in a mound and in a special mold and drenched with hot honey. After cooling and hardening, chak may be optionally decorated with hazelnuts and dried fruits.
So, my takeaway from this is, and I know this is not what you just said, but my takeaway is hazelnut-sized hazelnut. Go ahead.
What?
It said hazelnut size, and it said it may contain hazelnuts. So, for me, now I'm just imagining a hazelnut, which I don't know what an... Anyways.
Yeah. Though, to be fair, I've never seen variants with hazelnuts or other things in there except for the dough. So, yeah.
I think we're going to do one more question, and then we're going to go to the songs. Especially because I have some gaps in my... Because I didn't know what to answer for the next two for you and one for... myself, and I have some more time to think about it then, and also because we're running at about an hour and 10 right now. That being said,
already. Yeah.
What was my childhood dream job?
I don't know. I don't think we ever talked about that.
I feel like it would have come up before.
I mean, probably. Maybe.
I'm gonna give you a hint, right? This is totally guessable.
I mean, there's a lot of stereotypical ones.
There are... I'm not sure if I would necessarily strictly count it among those, but I feel like it is still something very obvious that a young JJ would come up with.
Yeah, I don't know, scientist or something.
Yep. I've literally wrote down inventor/scientist because at first I said I wanted to be an inventor, and then I realized what kind of a vague term that is because it's just someone who invents something. You can't really do that for a living, And then I went with scientist because that's just the more practical implication of that, really. So yes, inventor/scientist.
Yeah.
That is, you're spot on. You said there's a lot of stereotypical ones, and me being very creative, I obviously assumed that you were also scientifically inclined, and I just went with something very stereotypical in that direction, and I said astronaut. I'm saying little Sergei. Oh, sorry. No, my bad. Rewind that. Cosmonaut.
Yes.
Little Sergei wanted to go to the
that was. Yeah. That was included in there. Because for me it basically changed every couple hours, and totally depended on what show I was currently watching.
Yes.
Yeah. I was easily excited for stuff.
I mean, I think that's a good thing. I'm going to actually take my notes and have it say cosmonaut rather than astronaut because, wouldn't be a true comrade otherwise. Oh, by the way, for those that are wondering about the difference between a cosmonaut and an astronaut, it's literally just cosmonauts are Russian. Like, there is no actual difference. It's just that we usually refer to them as cosmonauts when they're Russian because that's, I guess, close to what the Russians would call it. I know that cosmos is the Russian word for cosmos, or for universe, but I don't know. I assume you don't literally say cosmonaut or something that doesn't sound very Russian.
Cosmonaut.
Really? Okay, fair enough. And that is why we refer to them as cosmonauts and not astronauts, because I guess no one bothered to translate it, despite the fact that it's literally what the English translation of cosmonaut is astronaut. So,
Yeah.
It's probably just to make a more obvious distinction between, the Soviets and the Western bloc, because Space Race was all about Russia versus US, basically, and then calling them cosmonauts and astronauts, you already know which side they were on. I'm pretty sure that's at least part of the reason why that happened. So, that means that I have gotten a total of 2 points in this second topic, which brings it up to 6.5 on the day, and 18.75 in total. By my count, I know you have like a third of a point more or something in your count. And you have gotten 1 in the second topic and 3 on the day, for a total of 13.67.
Hey, what was your total according to your count?
18.75. To be fair, I did give me a point for cosmonaut. So,
Okay, half point, I guess.
Okay. My total is 18.25.
What?
I got 1.5 points in the second topic and 6 in total today. There we go. Fix it for you.
I mean, your total, according to me, is 18.58.
Again, the extra 0.33 that we know where they're coming from. Yeah. I just still, for some reason, have refused to write those down. So, there's that. And that brings us to everyone's favorite segment. Maybe. I know some people like it. I guess these days people aren't even watching it, but as in the podcast. Song of the week. What is your song of the week?
I cannot wait to mispronounce it horribly.
Those are the best ones.
Vetem a yakon egi Kosaral.
It sounds like you're mispronouncing it. I don't know what you're trying to say, though.
Let me just. It is I think from a group called Chajti Boy. Maybe. I think.
Vettem a piacon egy szájkosarat, pedig nekem kutyám se volt. A feleségem szájára rátetetem, hogy ne beszéljen vissza nekem. De én rátetetem, rálakatolom, a lakatnak a kulcsát a Dunába dobom. Ha le akarja venni a lakatot a nő, hát ugorjon a Dunába ő.
It doesn't necessarily appeal to me, but I'm curious, what language is that?
I think it's Hungarian.
That's great.
At least that's what Google Translate detected.
Well, I mean, that
Title
is
to be
Hungarian. I don't think there's
in.
any that closely related languages to Hungarian out there. I think Hungarian is, like, relatively isolated. I think the closest language to Hungarian is Finnish. And that's not close.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
My thing of the week is one that we've had before, but I'm still using it nonetheless. I think Alex said it before. It's Live to Win by Paul Stanley.
Live to win till you die, till the light dies in your eyes. Live to win, take it all, just keep fighting till you fall.
I do like that.
So do I. And with that, this episode of the Treasure Podcast draws to close once again, and I would urge you to like and subscribe and comment and join the Discord server, because you probably haven't, despite the fact that I've mentioned every video. No, if you watch these, you probably have. Oh yeah, you can dislike,
Yeah.
I guess, though I think those are not displayed publicly anymore, but I've said that last week. Sergey!
That's it.
That's it.